now we're going to talk about increasing your energy and reducing your stress. And I'm going to introduce you to Lucia, who is not only our international chapter director, so she's leading a stellar chapter with nearly 40 members already that just launched the 1st of May. Lucia, tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, I am, first of all, I'm a WOAMTEC member, proudly, and I am a health and nutrition coach, nutrition counselor. And my passion really is to help women, especially business women, to achieve higher levels of longevity, energy, and vitality.
And you run the international chapter. So tell us, how would you define the international chapter?
The international chapter is a great chapter. It's a mixture of Brazilian culture. Of course, I'm Brazilian, although I live in this country for about 28 years now. I moved here when I was 5. Anyway, just kidding. But we have several members that are Hispanic. We have Americans. We actually even have people from all over the world at this point, right?
Absolutely.
So we decided to call it International Chapter. And if you are interested in coming to our chapter, please just give us a call, go to the website, and look for International Chapter. We meet every other Wednesday. Our next meeting, I believe, is the 24th or 25th. I'm not sure what day is it, but it's the last Wednesday of this month. And we meet at the restaurant called Cantina Laredo in Dr. Phillips area.
Which is in the Orlando, Florida area. So if you're planning a summer vacation anytime soon and want to come network with some dynamic women, definitely look us up so you can write off your trip, and so you can, continue to be part of the chapter and visit the chapter and meet some amazing women. Now, Lucia is also a published author. She didn't say that, and she has written an amazing book that I've personally read and love. Lucia, tell us a little bit about the book that you've written and the main bullets, like behind the book. Like share with us.
Oh, okay. The book is called Proactive Nutrition with a Brazilian twist, of course. And this book is based on the proactive approach that I have to life and nutrition. In other words, proactive nutrition meaning that it's a hands-on, positive approach to our nourishment needs, and how you do this? By establishing a practical and preventive program that will support our busy lives.
Okay, so let's take the practical program, because I'm learning how to re-eat. Like, I'm having to retrain myself on how to eat, make healthier choices, how to learn I've learned different foods that I had no idea existed, and it's been interesting for our family, but it's also been an easy adjustment. I've lost already 20 pounds with the help of my trainer too, so I'm excited. Shalane, shout out girlfriend, thank you for that. But it's also because I'm learning how to eat right. So give us an idea as to how to be proactive with your food choices.
Before you even go into the food choices, in order to be proactive, you have to start with your mind. Because once you will have your mindset, then you go into your nutrition, okay? And when it comes to the nutrition, and to answer your question, the right food choices, first of all, you need to prepare your biological terrain to receive the right food, because it doesn't matter how nutrient-dense the food is, how great the food is, if you don't really have a body that's prepared to receive that nutrition, it's not going to do any good for you.
Okay, so what do you do to prepare your body?
First, you need to prepare your body with functional nutrition, which is by bioindividuality. Of course, we believe in bioindividuality. What's good for you is not good for me, and that's the mistake everybody does. We think our friend made a diet that was wonderful, and they lost 20 pounds, like you did. But possibly, if I would try your diet, it's not going to work for me, because we are different, And what happened is, by preparing your biological terrain, like I say, the first thing you need to do is to take care of your intestinal flora, your body organs, and by doing that, for instance, you can use probiotics, you can use detoxifying products and programs. I actually have a great detoxifying and a cleansing. It's very important. All this is great before you even put the food on.
Okay, so first you have to cleanse your body, take probiotics to get your body ready. Now, I've heard a lot about probiotics, but what exactly does a probiotic do? And do you have any pointers for what type of probiotic to buy?
Yes. Probiotic is like a microorganism. They're also called as friendly bacteria, and it's very important to have that in our body, because that helps us digest foods and function proper. All the other organs function properly. And I would suggest the best type of probiotic. I know a lot of people buy 1 billion, 2 billion cultures. It doesn't work. You got to at least try with 15 billion cultures, different types with at least 10 strains of different friendly bacteria. And I know the names are very complicated, so don't worry about that. Just when you look for a
15
probiotic,
billion.
15 billion minimal. If you are a senior, it's even better. When I say senior, it's above 50 years old, what most of us are.
Hey, watch that.
Yes, I am, and I'm very proud of it.
Okay, so 15 million.
Yes.
And 10, what was the second thing?
10 strains,
Okay.
different types, because that cover all bases.
Okay.
You know, basically, that gives you a head start. And then when you have all that prepared, then you come into the nutrition. Now, when it comes to the food, there are two types of food. The people only talk about what they eat, but the most important food is actually not the food that you eat. That's what we call the primary foods.
Okay.
Primary foods are foods that we experience, are foods like relationships, like we were just talking about, building relationships, having a great career, you know, having a great love life, having lots of sex. All that, all that is primary food that fulfills you. And when you are fulfilled in all of those areas in your life, having a great spirituality and all that, when all that is in balance, now you're really ready to bring all the real foods, which are food that we eat. Now we're going to answer your question.
That's good. That makes sense, though. I know that I've heard or talked to lots of people, and I've done it myself. You eat stress food. You know, when your life isn't in balance, it's hard to be healthy because you get stressed. You crave carbs. You crave sugar. You know, you crave different things because you drink more. You know, because you're out of balance. So,
Exactly.
all right. So look at how to balance your life first. And that solves that mental problem or challenge. And then look at the food that you're eating second.
Yes. And then now we were telling me that we want to talk about energy, which is my favorite subject. I actually have classes on eating for energy, right, and vitality. I actually have a program that's coming up now. Kathleen is going to tell you a little bit about it a little later. It's called 100 Days for Vitality for Life.
Wow.
Okay, it's really cool because it's just about energy and vitality. Now, answering the question about foods for energy. For instance, I would start with the superfoods because the superfoods gives you a huge advantage. If you eat like I'm from Brazil, I have a lot of superfoods in the Amazon. And now in this country now is inundated with all these Brazilian foods and superfoods. From the Amazon.
What defines superfood for me?
Superfood is a food that you can eat little, but gives you enormous amounts of benefits.
Okay.
Instead of you eating lots of quantities, you eat small quantities of the good stuff.
Okay.
And superfood, for instance, the number one is cacao, cocoa.
Okay.
Right? We call chocolate. Who loves chocolate? Who doesn't, right? Chocolate is wonderful, but if you eat the 80% and above,
okay,
so that's a pure cacao. Most of the time, I actually have cacao beans on my shakes instead of the powder.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the cacao beans. We have the camu. Camu is wonderful because it's great antioxidant also, huge in vitamin C, okay? And you have a little bit of it.
Okay, now you need to spell that for me, and you need to tell me where to buy it, because I have never even heard that word before in my life.
Okay, camu is all over the place now. It's C-A-M-U,
okay.
M-U, camu, okay? And you can find that in any good nutrition.
Like Whole Foods or something like that.
Any good nutrition store. And also on my website, I sell a lot of those products. We also use maca. Maca is phenomenal. It's a superfood. It's an adaptogenic. It's great because it gives you, talking about stress, helps you balance, helps you feel grounded.
And how do you use this? Like, what do you do with this?
Okay, a lot of these foods, to make it easy, we just put in the shake in the morning. You make a super shake, which I have a recipe here also. It's fabulous. And all you do is put all these ingredients in your blender, blend it out, and drink it. Then you have, this one is called Lucia Superfood Shake. Okay, so this kind of food, that's what you need. And then you already got all the nutrition early in the day. But you also have to add the berries. Berries are very important, the goji berries. Okay. I already mentioned the acai berries, but you also have to do all the other berries, the strawberries, all the antioxidants. Because once you have antioxidants, you have adaptogenics, you know, like maca. You have the other nutrients that you need for your body. You got a lot of energy. One other thing that gives you lots of energy, believe it or not, is quinoa. Quinoa is a fabulous food. If you only eat quinoa, you don't need anything else. As a matter of fact, when the astronauts go to the moon, that's what they eat.
Really?
Yes. Do you know why?
No.
Because it's stored very easily. It's a complete amino acid profile. It's a full protein, very little in carbs, and tastes like you can make a quinoa any way you want. I actually, my next book, which is already in line, it's called The Little Red Book of Quinoa. And I actually got the research from NASA for my book, which I'm very proud of and very excited about it, because who knew that this little seed that's treated like this little grain, that's actually treated like a seed, is making a huge difference in people's lives.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, because you said that this wasn't about dieting, this was about living and living right and feeling as good as you can and being as good as you can. I know you've overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges in your life. As a mom, a lot of moms in the morning for breakfast, our kids eat cereals and our kids eat maybe oatmeal or waffles or things like that. Would you recommend us starting to get our kids in the habit of drinking shakes every morning for breakfast?
Absolutely, absolutely. A nice shake with cacao, chocolate is going to give them great mind frame. It's going to make them happy because it's called the mood food, It's going to, all the other like the camus and all the other things is great because it prepares them to have a better day, have more energy without the spikes of sugar.
Okay.
Avoid the sugar completely. Just use stevia. Stevia is so great because when you eat stevia, you actually have all the sweetness, doesn't have the aftertaste, but it's super healthy, Or in the worst, you can have a little bit of honey. Some people like honey. It's like there are mixed feelings about it. I use honey. I love honey, And to be honest with you, the old people, really old people from the Amazon, they live off honey, cinnamon, garlic, camu, acai berries, and they live over 100 years old,
Right.
And they have no stress. Isn't that awesome?
That my doctor just told my 8-year-old the other day who's having some gastrological problems that, you have to, if it grows in the ground, eat it. Whatever it is, if it grows in the ground. And so the new thing is she'll say, does pineapple grow in the ground? It's like, well, it grows in a tree, and we're learning that, but really to teach them that to focus on what grows in the ground and get them excited about being part of that.
And don't eat the cardboard food that I call cardboard food, because when you get the box, it has so many ingredients. If it has more than 3 or 4 ingredients, leave it there. Because it's not going to do any good for you. I say, if you're going to eat that cereal that's in that box, eat the box. It's healthier than the cereal.
which is so, absolutely.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
At least you're not going to have the sugar high.
Right.
Right?
Now, you've overcome a lot of health issues, as I started to mention. Share with them, because I think it's amazing. The things that you've overcome and how great you look and how great you feel is really huge. So tell them a little bit about how you feel as though this has helped you personally.
Oh, helped me personally tremendously, because I overcame what you call the CHS.
Okay.
The syndrome of CHS. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
The C word for cancer, the H for heart surgery, and the last one that I had most recently, a few years ago, was the stroke. So CHS.
You've had a cancer, heart surgery, and a stroke, and you look fabulous.
Do I look like I had that? No. Do you know why? Because I decided to take charge of my life and my nutrition. Forget all those millions of medicines that I was in, and drugs and all that, And my drug now is Superfoods, And I am very healthy, thank God. And the way that I treat my body and the way that I live my life right now, But one thing I have to tell you is, even if you have all that, all the great nutrients, and you got your body prepared and all that, you still need to worry about your stress. I'm type A personality, so I want to a super achiever. I always want to do a million things, like you are too, right? We are very similar in that.
Absolutely.
And you know how hard that is, because you are also perfectionist. But guess what? You have to stop all that, because it's not worth it. These days now, what I do is, if I'm really with a very big schedule of things that I need to do, and I feel that my body, it's needing some rest, I cancel all my appointments, I pop a movie in, and I watch, and then I sleep in the afternoon. I could never do this 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. But guess what? That gives me the feeling that I'm controlling my life, and I feel relaxed, and then I produce 3 times more when I'm done with that. Instead of pushing myself and pushing like most of us do, and just don't do anything right. I just say, today I'm not doing anything. And then I get up, and then sometimes at 10 o'clock at night, I go and start writing and start doing my other stuff. Next day, I take care of everything. No time lost.
I think that exactly, no time lost, because you can produce more. And sometimes we just try and do and do and do and do. That what you've learned, especially dealing with cancer and in a stroke, you've learned that you have to listen to your body, and you have to make yourself a priority and important. And you know, if you want to change your life and really say, okay, the next 100 days I'm committing to living a healthier, more vital life and vibrant life, and helping find the balance, she's the woman that can help make that happen for you.